on track, everyone, for another big economic win. So good luck to the socialists trying to run against that, right? Good evening, everyone. I am Trish Regan. Facts only. Job growth is soaring. Wage growth for average earnings is soaring. Our stock market is soaring. NASDAQ 9,000 today, and yet the president is still out there reworking all these trade deals at a record pace to benefit American workers. All of this is good news. Who knew that these two things, labor markets, meaning workers, and capital markets, meaning all those big business owners and the Wall Street capital that funds all of them, who knew that they could all improve simultaneously? Donald Trump knew. Donald Trump knew, but if you listen to the Democrats, they would be telling you and are telling you that these two things are somehow mutually exclusive. Democrats say you cannot have a thriving environment for big business and a thriving environment for workers. But hasn't that historically always been the success of our nation? Shouldn't it be? The heart of our nation? Capitalism means business succeeds, workers succeed. But Democrats hate business. They don't believe in it. Yeah, I want you to see something here. This is an interesting screen for you, because on December 18th, the evening of the president's impeachment, the president was out there speaking to workers, thousands of them, in Battle Creek, Michigan. These are workers who support him because he is bringing their jobs back and he is growing their wages. And traders simultaneously were getting ready to send the market to a new record close the very next day. And the guy's getting impeached. So in other words, it tells you, number one, the market, the world, no one cares about the giant shift show there in Washington. And two, workers know who is looking out for them. They sure do, and it sure ain't Nancy. What we're witnessing at this moment in time is a total realignment of the Republican and Democrat parties. Unions come into play here, because all those union bosses that have shelled out big bucks to the Dems, they didn't have a clue how to manage the growing threat of globalism in the world and globalism in the Democratic Party. And as such, the very candidates they supported gave them none other than NAFTA. And that resulted in well over 800,000 jobs being lost in this economy. I mean, just multiply that out to figure out what kind of effect it had on GDP. Not good. Union heads know this.
The bad and the evil that was done by NAFTA, the harm that was done to our economy and to the manufacturing sector in our economy, and to other sectors as well. That was the worst agreement that ever happened. Everybody knows that the NAFTA model hasn't worked.
Okay, I agree with you. It didn't work, so why don't you just stop giving the Democrats money? How about that? Because that's all you've been doing, just giving them all kinds of money. I'm going to get back to that in a second, because tonight, the Senate has an opportunity to vote USMCA into place. This is a new trade deal which would actually help American workers, would help Americans keep their jobs. And yet Bernie Sanders doesn't want to sign it. Elizabeth Warren isn't sure whether she should sign it. Come on, get with the program, guys. And while we're at it, any of those union bosses out there earning $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, far more than any of the workers that they represent, they need to get with the program too. They have sat by allowing the elites to take advantage of American workers for too long. The unions, they have fed it, they have allowed it, they have spent the bulk of their money on politicians who support these lousy policies. It's ending now. It's ending. Thank goodness. America is learning a new way forward. Or perhaps I should say we're going back to our roots, right? These are our roots. This is who we are. Workers should be benefiting. Businesses should be benefiting. Wall Street should be the envy of the world. It can all happen together if we think about our own interests. President Trump has proven and is going to continue to prove in the year ahead that free market capitalism and American prosperity for all, everyone, including every coal worker in Pennsylvania, every factory worker in Michigan, and every Wall Street type in the city of New York, too. All of this can work together. It should work hand in hand. And it's going to. And that's how we succeed.